I think the gap has been created between understanding and then willing to understand of this indigenous knowledge system, because scientific undertakings and research findings are good for their own sex, but the limitation in our understanding and worldview that it claims judgment. As if they find, like for example, when it comes to gene drive, the nature, how it works, in terms of how it works, even science itself witnessed that cannot be understood fully. It's about exploration, it's about engagement and follow-up. So the follow-up does not mean it's an end. So in this way, I mean, in this matter of approach, you cannot conclude that the released gene is going to be in control once you release it in the outer environment. In terms of indigenous knowledge approach, knowledge is not something to be discovered, because discovery has an end, and then the connotation is it's an end of something. But knowledge is something that you are living, and then you cannot exhaust experiencing knowledge. So you learn from nature, because nature has got its own order, and what makes knowledgeable about elders, wise people, for example, who may not necessarily go to school. Their knowledge is based on observation, experience, and then from those experiences they might make a mistake, but this would be a basis for learning, and they do not intervene from nature, and then they have lots of respect, and then this reveals through different practices and also through rituals, for example, and then through also even interpretation of what they see even in their dream, and then also the emotional attachment with nature. So they are very much respectful to nature. It doesn't mean that they don't explore. They explore from their perspective. Like for example, if we see food science, for example, in science in indigenous perspective, those ancestors are the ones who really inherited us the type of food, especially in Africa, all chemistries, fermentations, and in all interactions with nature, interplay of mixing different spices and all these things. This is science itself, and then this didn't come out of the blue. It's out of exploration. When it comes to medicine, for example, traditional medicine, that is also in harmony with nature and learning from nature and in experiencing. So when we say indigenous knowledge, it doesn't mean that it's static. It's evolving, and then it's learning, and then they are the ones who are scientists, but they are not intervene to the extent that they breach the law of nature. So when it comes to this approach of, for example, genetic engineering and the issue of gene drive, you see, trying to understand how nature works is one thing, but breaching the structure and then also coming up with own extreme intervention is another thing, because for anything that you cannot have control, because it has been witnessed even with how the corona pandemic was almost out of control of science. So this shows that, I mean, once you get into something that you don't know, technology cannot save you, and then it will be maybe diminishing the entire system of the globe. So that is really concerning.